Hello, Brooke Duff. Thank you for volunteering to be here today. As you know, my name is Melinda Barefoot, and I am a counselor in training. So there are a couple goals today, and I'm going to go ahead and list right now what I need from you.
Okay.
I am going to present you with an informed consent for the assessment today that I need you to sign and date. And this is for your protection as well as mine to go ahead and explain that this is not a counseling session. It is just the opportunity for me to administer some of the personality instruments that we're using to assess, and they are not 100% reliable or valid. So the reliability and validity is not 100% accurate.
Okay.
Because again, I'm a counselor in training under the supervision of Dr. Amy McCourtney from UNT Dallas. So as mentioned, I'm going to give you several assessment engines, and we're going to start with the symptom checklist. I'll tell you what, I'm sorry, let me go ahead and have you sign this first, the consent form. You can sign your name and date it. And I'm also going to have you fill out, this is giving the basic informed consent. So this is a sheet you can go ahead and read.
Okay.
And get an idea of what is going on today and what you feel comfortable doing.
Okay, groovy.
Thank you. Okay, so you've signed your consent form. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to go ahead and explain what I am administering to you today and what we've selected. The first one is a symptom checklist. It's 90 questions, and these are just whatever thought comes into your head first. It's a scale of 0 to 4, with 0 not at all, 1 a little bit, 2 moderately, 3 quite a bit, and 4 extremely.
Okay.
So this will just take a few minutes for you to fill out. The second one is a BDI, which was devised by Aaron Beck. But this is really, it's just a short 21 question survey for you to, on a scale of 0 to 3, go ahead and circle the answer that best describes your mood, feelings, emotions in the last 7 days.
Okay.
The third one is the state trait inventory, which I do not have a copy of. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a glitch with the bookstore. I will have that in my possession sometime soon, hopefully. I can give that to you at a later date. The fourth one is the Myers-Briggs, which is a personality assessment. There's no right or wrong answer, just like there's not on the previous two I just gave you. You circle A or B, the one that best describes where you are cognitively.
Okay.
And for the fifth section of this, I am going to go ahead and just, if you feel comfortable, I'd like to go ahead and I've already filled out the biopsychosocial survey that we've gone over, but I do want to get an idea of your personal history and any goals you may have today.
Okay.
From being here with me. So,
I've never done a personality test.
Okay.
So I'd like
Great.
to do that and kind of
Good.
find my strengths and weaknesses,
Perfect.
if there are any.
Perfect. Thank you. Great answer. Okay. So for the recollection section, this is something that was designed by Alfred Adler, who was a very well-known 20th century theorist. He devised the individual psychology, and he had one of his many beliefs was that life experiences and people create the events and beliefs that the events and experiences from our life go ahead and create and produce the way we relate to our lifestyles and the way we view the world. So the way we view ourselves others in the world, he was a huge proponent of saying a lot of this relates back to early recollections from childhood, obviously. So this early recollection technique is one that assesses an individual's unique worldview. And so I just have a couple. There's 3 questions that if we could go ahead and talk about. I need you to tell me, and think you feel free to take as much time as you want to go ahead and tell me from the earliest age you can remember a memory that you can flash back to of something that might have been uncomfortable, discouraging, traumatic, something that had a real effect on you as a child.
Probably 2 years old.
Okay.
I was always smaller than everybody else.
Okay.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
They took me to a growth specialist. So I'm 2 years old, and Daddy had been clipping the hedges, and he put the clippers down. Wow. Took everything I had to pick them up.
Right.
Daddy wasn't watching, and I go back and forth, jumping with them.
Wow.
And I stick it between my foot and cut my foot. And it took a split second before I started screaming, but about the same time that Daddy sees me, I'm screaming.
Right.
And Daddy was never like a hands-on daddy.
Okay.
He was always kind of back.
Right.
But immediately he picks me up, and Mama hears me screaming, so she comes, and she's like, what happened to her? And he's like, she cut her foot, and he's back and forth. I don't remember the foot so much as I remember Daddy picking me up.
Interesting.
So it was traumatic. We went to the emergency room. Thankfully, I did not need stitches. They butterflied it or whatever.
Right.
But I remember that as plain as day. And Daddy still has the clippers in the shop.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 42 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
that crazy?
That's a good one. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
That's a good one. Okay. The second type of early memory would be an enjoyable memory. Something that, and I know there's many, but something that stands out in your mind.
And is from really early on?
The earliest one you can think of.
Okay, probably same house, so same year, give or take, maybe
You were
2 or 3 years
okay.
old. Because it was Christmas after I cut my foot.
Right.
But it was Christmas, and I got a baby Chrissy doll for Christmas, and redheaded baby, and she was absolutely gorgeous, but she was the same size as I was. And I loved this doll, but I had asked Santa for her out at TGNY. I don't even think we have a TGNY,
right.
But I'd asked Santa for her, and I got her. And so I truly thought that Santa had come to the house and delivered her.
That's a great memory.
Santa also brought a train set that year. I didn't ask for that.
Right. But you got it anyway.
Got it anyway.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a...
But I still
the
have
doll you wanted, do you still have her?
And we still have her. Mm-hmm. She's in my room at Mama's. I know.
That is such a good one.
Yeah.
That's life-changing, though. Literally. Okay, and the third one would be some type of a confusing memory, and I don't love the word confusing, but something that you can recollect from preschool, kindergarten, first grade that had you a little bit unsure. An example would be if they were casting a play at school, you wanted this role, the teacher cast you in another role, or if you thought you were really good friends with one friend, she invited these people over to her party, you were excluded, something like that. It doesn't have to be traumatic. It can be something that's just that had you unsure.
Can it be at home?
Sure.
3 or 4 probably.
Okay.
Playing in the backyard, and I found something that was so great. And I knock on the back door for Mama to come out and see it. Mama's on the phone. She's like, just a minute.
Right.
So great, and it's moving, so she's got to come see it. Mama, come see it. She's like, just a minute. They always called me Tiny. Just a minute, Tiny. And it's like, Mom, you've got to come see this. I found the greatest thing ever. You've got to come. And I was so excited about Mama seeing this. Mama says, well, just bring it to me. So I'm going to go and bring it to her, and I'm so excited about this bug because I've never seen anything like huge black spider. Huge legs.
And you pick it up.
I'm getting ready to when Mama comes out to find, reaching for the tarantula. I didn't know that's what it was. And it scared her.
Right.
But she flipped her lid. It's like, no, put it down.
I bet.
And picked me up by one arm, spanked my bottom with the other. You don't touch bugs. You don't touch spiders. Just hold.
Okay.
I was so excited about it.
And all of a sudden that excitement went to
fear,
shame.
almost fear
Right.
and shame,
Right.
because you're not supposed to do that.
Right.
But she told me to bring it to her.
Yes. So there's the confusing element.
Yes.
And I bet your mom thought twice about that too.
Oh,
the next
we've
time.
talked about it numerous
Have
times
you?
over the years.
Right.
Because I was like, you told me to bring it. She said I was
Right.
so scared in that moment.
Right.
Because she's terrified of tarantulas.
Yes.
Which I am too now.
Right.
But I wasn't then.
So that was her first reaction.
Yeah.
To spank you.
Uh-huh.
Don't
Yes.
do it again. Right.
Yeah. Don't.
So really her disciplining you was her fear.
It was. Yeah.
On there.
But to this day, if I see a tarantula, I think of that.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
Interesting. That's great. You have such a good memory.
Oh my gosh.
To go back 40.
I can
42
remember
years.
the summer before that, the hedge clipper, that summer.
Right.
The house across the street caught on fire. And I'm standing at the fence looking at the house across the street. And so finally, I toddle up to the front door
Right.
and said, Mama, fire. And Mama called 911. The house was on fire, and no fire trucks or anything.
You already had that.
And
that instinct.
But it was a visual. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that was a great house. Lots of things happened at that house.
And who had taught you to pick up the phone in case of an emergency?
Oh, Mama.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I didn't call. I
The
didn't know
defense
to call.
mechanism,
But,
right.
but Mama taught me.
But you knew to report that. You were a little adult at such a young age.
Well, you know,
Fantastic.
I'm cool like that.
Of course you are. It's fantastic. I love your recollections. Well, they're good ones. They're really good ones. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and gather some information from your
Okay.
biopsychosocial history.
Okay.
We'll go over that form, and then we are going to go ahead and get started on the assessment. I'm not going to call them tests. They're literally surveys, inventories. You take as much time as you need to fill each of these out.
Okay.
So these are what have been selected, as I just explained. I'm administering them to you, and then we will go ahead. I will have the scores interpreted, and then you and I are going to have a follow-up conversation, interview, where we go over what the scores indicated.
Okay.
And again, I appreciate you being here, my friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you.